Season 5, Episode 8, The Complex Twist Mouse and the Copper John with Legs. Here we go!
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready to cast your lines into a world of excitement and adventure with Thursday Night Live Fly Tying, the ultimate fly fishing show that's sure to leave you hooked.
Now in its 5th season, they have 17 brand new episodes lined up that will take you on a journey through the world of fly fishing and fly tying. Each episode is hosted by the dynamic duo of Tim and Dana, who will teach you how to tie 2 different fly patterns as well as share tips and tricks to help you become a better angler.
But that's not all. Thursday Night Live Fly Tying is an eclectic event where anything can happen. Halfway through each show, they play Flango, a unique twist on the classic game of bingo. The winner of Flango has a chance to face the wizard in the doors of doom. Choose the right door and you get to keep all the prizes. Choose the wrong door and the wizard will steal all your winnings.
And if that's not enough excitement for you, we also have the baking camp, showcasing mouth-watering desserts that are sure to satisfy your sweet tooth.
But we're not just about fun and games. At the end of each episode, we have a segment called What's Your Win?, where the TNL family shares their positive experiences from the week. Tim and Dana will keep reminding you to love people and catch fish. Only quality people need apply.
So join us every Thursday night at 7 on Facebook and YouTube Live for Thursday Night Live Fly Tying and experience the thrill of fly tying like never before.
Alrighty, folks.
What's going on?
It's that time of the year where the Bearded Nipple makes an appearance for you guys because we're back by popular demand.
Oh, yeah. Just want to send it over to Panther. What you guys to say here, honey?
Panther, tell us something great.
Nothing to say. All right, he's ready to go. He's ready to go.
I think Panther, give him another chance.
Okay, one more time.
Another chance.
Okay, let's hear it, Panther.
This is Panther.
Panther, behave.
Well, folks, this is your first time tuning in. This is Thursday Night Live Fly Tying, and I'm one of your hosts, Beard 1. Beard 2.
And I don't have a beard, folks, so it's just me.
So you're Beard None.
Yeah, some people call me Roscoe,
0.
but it's
loser.
The Panther.
But anyways, it's not because we have beards that we're called the Bearded Nipple. It's because one of us who doesn't have a beard has a bearded nipple.
I don't know who it is. I don't know.
What's this here in the screen? All right. Anyways, folks.
Jeez, she's a busty.
Yeah, we're just excited to be here tonight. We're gonna tie up a couple flies. We brought our bandmate Beard 2 back.
Yeah.
He doesn't talk.
It's great to be back. It's been a while since we put this gig back together.
Last season, season 4.
At least. It's been too long.
Beard 0, Beard none. What are we going to be tying tonight?
Oh, we got some stuff on the docket, folks. We got some rubber leg copper John, which is a sexy little honey. And we also got this complex twist mouse. So,
why is it so complex?
I don't know, but she's got a little kicker in her, that's for sure.
That's right, because when you twist it and it's complex, you call it a complex twist.
Nothing like a little of that Ozark mouse and...
That's a good point. Folks,
Yes.
before you take off, this is a fly tying show, and I'm sweating already. It's hot in here.
It is.
But what I got to do is we wrote a song.
We did.
Don't let go of your kitty.
No, it's my panther.
Don't let go of your kitty.
No.
Panther.
Behave.
Why is your arms kind of see-through?
I don't know.
All right, we practiced this 3 times today, and we're ready to play for you guys. We literally wrote this, and I can't see any comments because the lyrics are in the way. So anyways, we've got 2 songs for you guys tonight. The first one, my band has practiced. The second one, you guys don't even know.
Oh, it's going to be good.
But it's a little outside of our comfort zone. Because it's rap style.
I got this.
And we're known, where'd your cat go?
Panther's on a run. She does what she does.
So the good news is we are a country band, and that's how we're going to start the show with a bit of a country beat here. So without much further ado, the Bearded Nipple. Why didn't we bring a manager for this?
I don't know.
All right, folks, can you give us the key of G? Touch the G string. There it is. That's as in tune as we're all going to be tonight, folks.
Oh, man.
Okay. Just quickly going to jump back and see if anyone's cheering us on. See, Roger's glad he has the house to himself tonight, and we don't want to know why. No, we don't. So anyways... here we go. Look, I think your significant others loves it. Said that I do.
Oh,
that I do.
Look at that.
You're keeping the vest tonight, aren't you?
Is that her vest?
Wait a minute. I'm sorry, honey.
Okay. All right. So without much further ado, we're going to bring to you the first single released by the Bearded Nipple called... The Bearded Nipple.
Original as it comes.
All right, this is the country song we wrote for you guys today, so stick with us. There was 3 guys who loved spinning up tries, so they all came together on a show called Thursday Night Live. Now these boys, they had their flaws. Tim who chewed his claws, Dana was blind and Aaron can't hear, but that didn't stop him from fishing without fear. Bearded Nipple's the name of their band, and they played country music across the entire land. With fly rods, guitars, and a wide open road, they played their hearts out in every episode. Tim sang lead and he had a little slip. His hairy nipple showed and it caused quite a trip. Jen Loud didn't mind, but she might have teased, and that's how Bearded Nipple got their name with ease. Bearded Nipple was the name of their band, and they played country music open across the entire land. With fly rods, guitars, and a wide open road, they played their hearts out in every episode. Love for fishing was what they all shared, and their passion for music kept them well prepared. They played in small towns and in big cities too. Their fans love them for all that they do. If you love fishing and that country sound, then come and join the party with Bearded Nipples in town. With their beards and their smiles, they'll bring you joy and leave you feeling like you caught your biggest fly, boy. Oh. Bearded Nipple was the name of the band. Oh, hey boys, I think we nailed it.
Nailed it.
I actually think we nailed this.
That was the best we've done so far.
You're not supposed to strum the Troy. He's from out east, and he's like, "Are you supposed to strum the guitar?"
No, not when it's just a
Not
prop.
when you're the bearded.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Those weren't even our voices.
No.
In case you couldn't tell.
Never. It wasn't, but that's okay.
So, anyways, that's our first release, A Round of Clicks.
Yeah.
Blake Teague said A Round of Snaps for the boys.
Definitely super
when you're that good, you don't have to, and that's what it is. So,
Yeah. It's as good as it comes.
wow. So you guys, Jesse, is Tim, you kind of like John Bon Jovi?
Yeah, I'm all right with that.
I was singing, see, I always see everyone, and if, you know, what most concerts do is have an encore.
I know nobody's asking for us to come back.
Just usually we got clapping by now.
Yeah,
Clap.
I don't hear
You got the clap? That's typical for a band member.
Not without a beard.
That's right. Anyways, it's not available on iTunes, but you can go back and re-record this and send it to your grandma. But before you do that, share this video to your grandma's knitting page, quilting page, and Rocky Mountain Fly Shop has some epic discount codes tonight.
They got unbelievable discount codes.
Unbelievable.
They're just keeping it
Again.
going every week.
Literally. I think they're selling stuff out of the back of a van because they lost their shop last week.
Is that where our van went?
That's where our van went.
I was like, man.
Yeah, it's down by the river. Okay. All right. Everyone wants Freebird, but we're not going to play Freebird because we're not a cover band. We're an OG original.
Yeah, it's original as it comes.
I'm sweating.
Yes.
Like, who brought this vest? Okay. So for the first time ever, bring this to my band. And nobody has asked for an encore.
It's all right, guys. It doesn't hurt our feelings.
If they do want an encore, I wrote us a song a little bit about the show.
Oh.
Carolyn just flashed us, so that's good. Hopefully it's not a band name.
We got some horns up there.
Oh, yeah.
All
there's
right.
something up there.
All right. So we need to know, do you guys want an encore? Because we'll bring in our rap song that I haven't even shown the band yet.
This ought to be good. It's a little outside our genre, but
Well, that's what the folks want. Encore. So you take your vest down. Nope, it's hot in here.
The last scene was rock. This season's country, so we might as well add a little rap in there.
Yeah, we might as well. All right. Since more than 0 people asked for an encore, see, like Cam's asking for a cover song. Clearly, we're not a cover band with this much talent. We're an OG band.
we're not covering up
And
anything.
we're not covering much of anything. But if you guys make sure that you like and share this video to everyone's page, because it's kind of a big deal that Bearded Nipple is going to release a rap song tonight right in front of you guys, your eyes, and your wife's eyes too.
Let's do it.
You guys excited?
Get a beat going.
I've put up the words, so basically you should quickly look through them.
Yeah, well.
And then I'm probably going to go over here and throw down a beat.
All right. Should we each
right.
take a verse or what?
Yeah, I'll start out
Yeah,
just
you better.
because I wrote it.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't need a guitar in this rap song. We just need some beatboxing.
Ooh. Boots and coats.
Boots and cats and boots and cats. All right, so it goes a little something like this. Maybe it's the wrong song.
Interesting. Okay.
I haven't heard the beat before, so.
Okay.
Listen up, y'all, I've got a show to share. Ain't no other like it, it's so damn rare. Thursday Night Live Fly Time, that's the name with Tim and Jane. You won't feel the shame. You're up.
Time flies, eating pie, playing Flango. What a vibe! With Thursday night, we come alive. Positive vibes never flow and grow. Thursday Night Live, fly time, don't you know?
Tattoo patterns every week we choose, making look easy. They got moves, making calm, showing treats so sweet. Who needs a hobby when you got this treat?
Everyone together now. Time flies, eating pie, playing Flango, what a vibe. Thursday night, we come alive. Positive vibes, they flow.
And
grow. Thursday Night Live Fly Time, don't you know? All right, verse 3's me. Flango game, the prizes are great. The bingo with the twist, you love this debate. What's your win? The final round. Positive thoughts, a happy sound. Everyone for the chorus. Time flies, eating pie, playing Flango, what a vibe. A Thursday night we come alive, with positive vibes they flow and grow. Thursday Night Live Fly Time, don't you know? You guys together, get the outro whenever you want. The beat stays the same throughout the rest of this 3-hour song.
Okay, all right. So tune in every Thursday, 7 p.m. Bring a smile. Happiness is the theme. Thursday Night Live Fly Time. It's the show, positive vibes. That's what you'll know.
Gosh darn. Bearded Nipple, there ain't much they can't do. When you show up and you wonder who, you say hey to my friends. See, I'm freestyling. You say hey to my friends, I gotta show you. Look at them, look at their dudes. Every week it's something new. Thursday, yeah. I could go on all night, folks.
Yeah. Don't let them.
Oh yeah. Well, anyways, that's kind of how we roll here.
That was good.
That was good. Are you sweating?
I'm sweating. You don't even know. It's the flow.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe it's the show. I don't even know.
Check it out, folks. This is a candle. And that was hot. That was hot.
Don't you be putting out my candle now.
All right, Aaron, freestyle before the song's over.
I got nothing.
Don't do it. Come on, we need you.
Take that off. Now you go.
Take that off. Here we go. We got a show. It's gonna go. Tim's gonna spin up some flow.
On top of the hook, you know. And if he puts his mouse in the trout's mouth, it's over. I think it's over. All right, folks.
That was a
well,
3-minute
if
song.
anyone's 3-hour song, if anyone's left here, oh wow, sweating super hot, and hopefully we can get out of this amazing scene without much damage to the showroom. Yes. Anyways, that's the Bearded Nipple, and we'll probably hit you up one more time this year if you're lucky.
If you're lucky.
See, Gary Bamford said, not that I don't like you guys, but I don't like you guys, and I hope the fly tying is worth the wait. So, well, I'll let everyone else comment on that because it is always worth the wait. I don't remember which button was commercials.
Second from the left.
I think it says right there. We'll be right back, hopefully.
Our vision for it is for people to come out here to enjoy the spot and to find peace, I guess. Like, a lot of people ask us if we're gonna get Wi-Fi out here, and we're like, no, like this is a place to disconnect and reconnect with your family and with yourself and just find quiet.
Oh, right.
What is up?
What is happening? We broke out of that scene with no harm, no foul.
That was actually pretty good. Can't believe we did that so well.
Which mic you on?
I'm on this one. I think. Ooh. No, now you
No?
changed it wrong. I was on. There we go. There it is. That's the one we needed. Yeah.
I got them mixed up over here. So welcome back to another episode of Thursday Night Live Fly Tying. I don't have to keep talking like that because I'm going to lose my voice. So anyways, that's kind of what takes place here tonight. Sometimes a band shows up.
Yeah, just got to show
Maybe
your
it's
skills
us.
sometimes.
We forgot to get out of costume. I don't know how we're going to keep doing this thing.
okay. It's okay.
called Costume. Anyways, I got the big muffs on and things don't sound quite right. So let us know on your end if you're still there and came for the fly, stayed for the tune. See,
Jerry.
I don't know, it's Gary or Jerry. Jerry. Banford, welcome to Thursday Night Live Fly Tying. I'm Dana Lattery, one of your hosts, and this is my friend.
Yeah, Tim
Hepworth. Sometimes we sing. Yes. But mostly what we need to get you guys up to date tonight is because we're only 22 minutes into the show, and there's so many good things that we have planned tonight, the fly tying being one of them. But another really great thing that we don't talk about enough is what Colin's got for discount codes.
Ooh, discount code Thursday. There's a lot of them, I think.
Always happening just like this.
Ooh. What do we got going on?
Well,
this week is new
Flango cards.
That's important.
You ever played Flango? Well,
I haven't, but I want to.
Wanna play Flango?
Yeah, so Flango, what is that? Is that something where I can like win some?
You can win a lot of things.
Oh.
Okay, just trying to see. Personally, I think you guys should go live with the music, the tour with the group, and an inflatable. We think about it often. And in the inflatable, there's a small hole.
Yeah.
So eventually our band sinks, like every band out there.
Wow. Come on.
Something like
there's a few
that.
that succeed. Not very many, but some.
So yeah, you want to go over to our website. It's scrolling across the bottom down here where to get your bingo card, and they're new, so nobody's cards from last week will work. So I don't have to field any emails saying, where did my bingo card go? No. Because it's gone. You're going to need new cards, and they're dressed up in God Bless the USA colors.
Oh, nice.
Because a tribute to all of our fine American friends who join in every single Thursday.
Oh, yes.
That's what we love. Anyways, grab your new Flango card because at halftime we play bingo, which we call Flango, and you can win lots of really cool things.
Yes, every week. Every week you win something. Well, maybe win. Maybe.
Well, you still win, but then you can lose.
That is true. I've never thought of it that way. You do win, you just might lose.
Yeah. So, Tim, why don't you tell everybody what we're going to be tying for flies? We've touched on it a little bit.
Yeah.
But we can get everybody all their threads set up and ready to go.
Let's do that. So we got 2 flies on the docket today, guys. We are going to be tying the rubber leg Copper John. So for that fly, we're going to use something a little smaller. I'm going to use UTC 70 in black. Okay. And then to hop on over to the Complex Twist Mouse, which is also a really kind of a cool fly. We need something a little heavier for that one. So we're going to be going with a 140 denier. And I'm going to use a UTC, and I'm actually using a brown or a bronze color. But anything dark on that fly will work, is where you're working with black foam. If you're tying out of our kits, that's what we'll be using. So...
What are our kits? When you say tying out of our kits, what are you talking about?
Let's talk about
Tim?
our kits a little bit. Okay. So I'm gonna show you a couple things that are pretty cool about what we got going on right now in the kits and the materials department. This is our Thursday Night Live Fly Tying Season 5 kit. These can still be purchased on our website. And what this is this is a kit. I'll show you what we're tying out of tonight. So we got Season 5, Episode 8. Okay, so and in the back of this, what you can see is we have packages, 2 packages in there with materials and a pre-tied fly of each pattern, enough to roughly get 5 flies out. We have enough hardware for 5 flies, but whether you use up some of your material more than others, then that's possible. But kind of on the other side of this, and something, am I allowed to talk about this? Am I allowed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
okay.
go. Because
Okay.
if it gets too much,
Yeah, this is a
that's
good option.
fine. Because this is going to be rocking your near fly shop. But right now, it's exclusively a Rocky Mountain Fly Shop.
Yeah, exclusively at Rocky Mountain Fly Shop. If you take a look here, what this is, okay? So this is, you're going to be getting just a single pattern. So if the kit's too much and you don't really want to invest right up and you want to say, hey, let me give this a try, grab one of these kits. You've got enough to tie 6 flies. You can choose the pattern that you want to try.
Tie fly because you get the pattern already tied.
Yeah, because you already have it. Yeah,
you get
sorry.
the pattern
5
already
tied, 1 already
tied.
knitted. So
I think
that's
that one there's you can check it out, Rocky Mountain Fly Shop, but that's like $9 or $10 Canadian. So as an American, you're getting that for like $7. You're gonna get 6 mouse patterns. Those things run for like $4 to $6 at a fly shop. Anyways, that is the try before you go all in. But as people can attest in here, the kits are well worth. Why don't you reach behind and grab? I don't know where. It's beside you. What we've already kind of tied this year.
Yes.
It's on the other side of you.
On the other, there it is. Okay. So we're on what episodes? Well, we've done 7 episodes. So this is what before the show, I tie out of one season kit. And this is what I have tied so far out of that kit. It's a big
7
fly box.
episodes.
7 episodes.
7 nights of flies.
Tons of flies in there. Lots in there. And yeah, if you're tying along with us, you should have at least that many so far. So you're definitely value for your dollar if you think about how many flies you're going to come out of this at the end with. So it'll sell itself.
And if you're in Red Deer and you head down to the farmer's market, you can enter to win a kit at Morning View Mercantile.
Yeah.
The best place to get your freeze-dried food.
Yes.
Goods and all the above. So that's our kits. That's what we're tying out of. We also have the material list all on our website. If you want to tie along, you go to our website. It's the same as the bingo. You'll see each pattern down there, all their materials, and you go enjoy that.
Absolutely.
All right, let's see what else we got here.
I like this music.
I know, I told you. Okay. Announcements.
Yeah, what else we got going?
Rocky Mountain Fly Shop. They got their new website up and going. So you might want to check that out. But another really cool thing is that they have a deal on flies. If you buy a dozen flies, you get 5% off. If you buy 2 dozen flies, you get
10% off.
If you buy 3 dozen flies, you get
15% off.
If you buy 48 flies, so 4 dozen flies, you get
20% off.
Yep. And you can mix and match whatever you want to do. Yeah.
That is a deal.
That's pretty epic how that works. So if you need to get stocked up for the spring, head on over there and you can purchase your flies. And thanks to Kyle, who's been working diligently getting all those up on the website. Super hard. Every time I go in there, he's working hard to get those up there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then what we talked about before is the discount codes that we are going to release. We'll get one going right away, but there's going to be 3 codes. This code will work for 3 people, and it's 25% off. The next code will work for 1 person at 30% off, and then the last code we enter, we give you after we tie the last fly. Are you tying the mouse first?
Yeah, let's do the mouse first.
After we tie the copper john at the end, 40% off code will be given out for 1 person. Now, if you go to buy and you enter the code and it doesn't work, it's because someone else with really fast fingers has already got it.
Well, doesn't mean you can't load that card up and be ready.
Scooter Tabor, we ship all over the world.
Yeah.
Our last kit went out to Ken B in Australia. And so, yeah, we can get them into Missouri. We can get them wherever you want. You just let us know. If you want the single kits, you head over to Rocky Mountain Fly Shop. And what's really cool is Western Canadian Fly Fishing Guide School.
Yeah, that's going to be coming up right here in May. We got 2 weekends in May, so we do 3 days one weekend, 3 days the next, and yeah. What should someone expect out of guide school?
You're going to spend a lot of. Who should go? Everybody should go. So people who want to guide, go. People who don't want to guide, they just want to hang out with some cool fishy people. I hate that word. If you want to learn to row a drift boat better, if you want to get more river awareness, you want to get river safety. We do a huge river safety assessment. So basically, it's 6 days, like Tim said. Your first day is spent in a classroom where your mind starts to melt because you're given so much information. And then the next 4 days are spent on the river learning. And then the final day, you're set up with what we call a pseudo guide day. So you get a client and an instructor in your boat, and you guide that client throughout the whole day, and you do you. And so you kind of get that taste of how it feels before you have to go live into the real world of guiding. Now, remember, 6 days of guide school will never make you a guide. Neither will 72 years on a river.
No.
Okay? But we have to understand that this is a really good stepping stone, giving you a taste or starting you off on the right foot. The rest is up to you. How do you know your river? How do you know your watershed? How do you know the flora and fauna? What are your people skills? Are you a douchebag? All these things go into play about your guiding career. But we really feel that what we get covered in these 6 days, we have a lot of success with people going to guide school.
Yeah. And there are some people who come out of it and do go on to guide.
Fly Trout's coming to guide school just to hang out with us, but I think we have to wear this, he said.
Well, I mean, obviously.
Why wouldn't we?
I don't know why.
Yeah, and then the last announcement before we give you one of the 25% off discount codes. So go on their website, RockyMountainFlyShop.net, load up your cart, and get ready to buy. And we're going to give you the code right after this. But the IF4 is in Olds, Alberta, March 25th at noon at the Mayfair Cinema.
And this is a
Why
big
is
deal.
it different than all the other ones shown in Alberta?
Because I think someone over there with some curly hair had a little bit more of a vision. They wanted this to be much more of a actual festival, which means this is a community event. It's not meant to just come sit down for a couple hours, watch a show, and leave. We want you there before. We want you to go see Rocky Mountain Fly Shop. We've got Jose coming down. She's gonna have a booth. There's something going on with the kids. Like it's gonna be inclusive for a day. Then after the show, we're all gonna go over to Track's Pub and hang out. Get to hang out with these people that are in here, and also that is that maybe we haven't got to meet yet, which is just incredible. Last year was a huge success. I think is a highlight for so many of us.
Yeah, so I'm like counting the days for it.
I'm pumped
because it's that festival we talked about. It's not just the in and out. It's like getting to hang out, come early. Rocky Mountain Fly Shop's gonna have the doors open. Sure, they're gonna be throwing crazy deals at everybody as they always do.
Yeah.
And then it's basically just a walk down the street, like half a block, and you get to the theater, and then you got a block across the train tracks and you're at Track's Pub.
Yeah.
Which they're gonna be opening early for all of us to get there, and we're gonna fill that place like we did last year. And like Rocky Mountain
overwhelm. I don't know.
We overwhelmed them. Hopefully this year they're a little more prepared.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what we got, and now let's give you guys what you came for. Discount codes.
They're getting it right here. You know what I'm saying?
Bam. Discount codes. Here we go. So the first one, and this is for 3 people, so get ready to insert these into the checkout. Enter a code. Because Tim was gone last week, so what we want to do in welcoming Tim back is say, welcome back, Tim. That's the code. 25% off for 3 people.
Thanks, guys. Good to be back. Good to be back. And
welcome back, Tim. You throw that capsule.
Yeah,
you get in there and you get 25% off, and that'll work for 3 people. So if it doesn't work for you, it means someone else got it. Okay, that's just how it works. There's no errors. It just got taken. So there's a 30% discount code, which we're going to throw out after the first fly, which we're going to get to right away here. And by right away, I might make Tim tell a joke while I get this camera set up.
Well, if you know anything about me,
you don't tell a joke. But the next thing we need to know is that 30% off and then 40% off. And then we're going to play Flango. So make sure here you guys get your bingo card and do all that stuff.
All the stuff. Yes, you're going to need that bingo card ahead of time. So get yourself hooked up.
All right, Tim, is your camera on?
What's up, Ron? Yo. Oh, is it on? There it is. It kind of is there. Yes. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the flies we're going to tat tonight. So we actually have a bit of a classic. Okay, we got the Copper John, but we're going to do a little variation on it. And we have tied some mouse patterns in the last couple of years. But this one is a very unique, super variable. There's lots that you could do with this pattern if you wanted to change it up even from how I'm going to show you. But it's a complex twist. It's very similar to the complex twist bugger. It's just that we're making it into the form of a mouse. So I'll kind of show you some of the tools that I'm going to use to do that twisting, and maybe some things that you could use instead. And yeah, other than that, we got some good patterns going. So Dana's just setting up the camera so we can see these a little better. But other than that, let's get our first supplies ready to go. So if you're tying out of our Season 5, Episode 8 kit here, go ahead and we're going to work on that complex bugger first. So go into your kit. We've talked about this before, but be careful with all the materials because it is kind of, it's not as easy as it used to be to lose materials all over the place, but there is a lot of materials in there, and there is a fly already tied for you in there as well. Okay, so this is my complex twist mouse pattern. Go ahead, those staples, I know we've had some complaints about them, but pretty simple. If you just push one corner out, push the other corner out, that staple's going to pop right out. You can get it out of the way. So you want to get those staples out and then kind of start organizing that material. Okay, so as you can see here, our complex twist bugger mouse, it looks a little raggedy. You know?
Oh, complex.
It is complex, and it's a super cool kind of technique to do it. And I think once you see this, if you haven't seen a complex twist done before, the wheels are going to start turning as to where else you can use this. And we
did one last year, the complex twist articulated bugger.
Bugger, yeah, and it's great to use. I love using this on. Maybe I use it too much, but on streamers. But I love to use it on just about every streamer. I just kind of adapt it to have the twist done in the middle. So let's go ahead and get our hook out of our bag, and we'll get that into the vise here.
Don't pull a Chaz. Move your mic.
I'm gonna get this mic out of the way. We'll get the audio in a moment.
Don't.
Hey, It's not there, it's there, it's not there.
Hello.
Hello.
All right, hang tight.
Hey, whoa, I can hear myself. There we go. Whatever you did. It's working. Okay, there we go.
Can you
guys.
hear?
I can.
Can everybody hear him?
Hear him. Well, I can hear me. Okay, so let's get to work on this beauty pattern. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to be tying with some UTC 140. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get my thread started. I'm tying with this like kind of bronze-ish brown color. So I'm going to lay a nice thread base down and start kind of behind the eye. Start working it back down the fly. Grab my scissors, trim out that tag. Sorry guys, I got to get centered and comfortable on this thing. Okay, so once we start doing that, let's work the thread quite a ways back down. I want to go all the way to the bend, and then I'm going to bring it back to about where the point is. Okay. Now, when you open up your kit and you start accessing all those other materials, you're going to see you have quite a few kind of miscellaneous things in here. But the first thing we want to grab is we want to get in there and we want to grab that rabbit zonker, and then there's also some pieces of monofilament in there. They're kind of brown monofilament. Now, you might be kind of wondering, well, why is that in there? And I'll kind of show you. So this isn't necessarily essential, but this will save you some grief when you're trying to keep this tail from fouling back on the hook. Because anytime you got a zonker tail and you also have a kind of a long shank streamer hook, it's pretty easy for it to get tangled up. So we're going to use this mono, just a single piece of mono hanging off the back, and it actually does a really good job of holding that tail kind of out of the way. So
everybody says you're really quiet.
Really quiet?
But I don't know.
It sounds good in my ears, but
yeah,
I can't tell. Sorry, guys. I will try to speak up a little bit to help. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring my thread back down, kind of mid-fly.
David Spencer's in the house.
What's up, D Spence? Gotta have a good chat with that boy. So I just laid a few thread wraps down. Now I'm gonna slide that mono back so that I want roughly like half of the hook shank kind of hanging off the back. So not too far, but just enough. And it's kind of curved up here, but it's not a big deal how it kind of sits because all it's meant to do is prevent the fouling of the rabbit zonker. Okay. So now I'm going to take thread wraps all the way back to about where the barb is. So if I lay my thread down, you can see the barb is right there. Now I'll go in and I'll trim out the rest of that mono, set it aside, use it for another fly. Okay. Now we're going to head on over to our our zonker strip. Okay. So our comes like this big long strip of fur. So this is rabbit fur, which has this leather on the underside. Okay. This is basically how they've tanned it. And that's the strip and how it looks. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come right up to the tip. So if you can look on the backside, okay, right at the very tip of this.
What happens if they have questions or they need us to just wait for them? What do we do?
Yeah, that's a great question. So at any time, all you got to do is drop an SOS in the comments. Literally write SOS. You're gonna see this lights come up, and what that does is it just allows us to know that you need us to stop. If you have a question, ask the question. If you just need to say, hey, I need to catch up for a second, go ahead and catch up, and we can talk about something else for a few minutes. So don't stress. If you need us to slow down or anything, just give us an SOS. Tell us why, and then tell us when you're ready to rock and roll again. Okay. So from here, I'm going to grab just the very end fur off of there. So you see how I pulled a little bit off. That just exposes a little bit of that leather for me to tie in. So then I'm going to come up here. I'm going to place that leather right on top. I've left this nice and long because I'm going to trim it. Okay. And I'm going to take a thread wrap nice and tight, and then start working a few thread wraps forward to cover up all of that butt ends. And then I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna take a few thread wraps, making sure that this zonker stays nice and, if you see on top here, it's just staying nice and level, okay?
Big fluffy tail.
Big fluffy tail. It's nice and symmetrical on top, not rolling around to the sides, okay? Took a few more thread wraps, so I'm basically back to that barb again, okay? And then I have that mono underneath, which is gonna help with the tail. So let's go ahead and trim the tail. How do we trim a tail on a zonker? Well, if I come in here like this with my scissors and just go cut, what that's gonna do is it's gonna cut all these top fibers of here that I actually wanna use. Okay, so when I cut this, I want the tail to be roughly the overall hook shank in length, and I need one more full length, okay? So what you'll see me doing is watch where my scissors come out, okay? So you see how it's down right against the leather. That's where I've pushed in against the leather, and then I'm gonna cut, okay? So see what that did there is you can see by the underside of this that it allows you to keep all the hair that hangs out over top of that. I'm not just cutting it off, kind of like cutting it off flush, okay? So that tail is a little long, so I'm just gonna come back and trim just a smidge more off. And then I'm left like so. Yeah, I'm good with that. Like it. Okay, so the next material that we are going to get in here is our foam. Okay, so we've got 2 mil foam. Looks like this, black 2 mil foam. We've cut it roughly a width, just so it'll fit just inside that hook shank. That's what we're gonna use for a width up on top here. I'm gonna go and just cut a real quick little point into it on one end. Okay, this kind of aids us in tying this in a little better. I'm gonna place it down so that the square side of that point sits just about where the fur starts. But my first wrap's gonna be kind of down on the point of the foam. Keeping the foam from wrapping around, I want it to stay right up on top. I'm gonna take a few wraps rearward until when I lay that down, it's just back behind the barb. So I've pushed up on top. So when this eventually folds forward, you can see I was right up against where that hair kind of started on the rabbit strip. Now I'm just gonna take some real tight wraps to secure that foam down.
Do you find it weird that wait, nobody's contacted us since watching this for record deal?
Well, this world never ceases to amaze me, you know? Just when you think you've made it.
I thought this was our chance to really get it out there.
Well, it was out there. I mean, you can't do a country act and a rap act.
You can't. Well, it just shows our diversity.
I agree.
In vocal reach.
Yep.
Vocal. Oh,
sometimes you gotta get the hair off. I'm telling you, I got a lot of fur on this body right now in many places, and it's warm.
And one of those being the nipple.
Yes. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do here, we are gonna get to work on the complex twist portion of this fly. So what I got in here, I'll show you. So we got this polar chenille, looks like this. Okay, it's kind of it's like any other chenille, it just has these longer fibers coming off it, okay, on this kind of middle rope section. We've got some brown saddle hackle, and we've got some white saddle hackle. We need one good saddle in white, and we need one good saddle in brown. Okay, and then we need a chunk of the chenille. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tie in the chenille. I'm going to leave it on the long strip to start with. I'm going to make sure I have that center rope portion visible so I know I'm getting it tied in right to the core. I'm going to take a little spin of my bobbin towards my hand. It's going to cause my thread to jump rearward and grab onto that. So I got my gathering wrap. Okay. So the nice thing about streamers, guys, is it's not a super like finite thing. I think tying nymphs is much more difficult. Tying dry is more difficult. It's just, everything's on larger
It's
scale.
not a streamer. This is a dry fly.
Well, it's still a streamer.
It's a dry fly, Tim.
It's a streamer. Don't believe him. Anyways, it's big. You can get away with a little bit more material in places and it not being, I guess, as perfect and finite. I think that's why streamers are a great place to start when you're tying flies. Okay, so I tied in the chenille. Now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna tie in my brown saddle hack. Okay, so I'm gonna actually just pull down just a few feathers right at the very tip. So I'm exposing the tip. You can see it there. See it there. The other color side is easier to see. I'm going to lay that right there in front of that foam, and I'm going to tie it in. I know, it doesn't look crazy perfect the way it is. Doesn't matter.
That is not crazy perfect.
No, it's not. I know.
You should quit tying
I should
forever.
quit forever. I know, I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect.
It's weird.
So I'm going to push that right back up against the foam. Now I'm going to go grab a nice white one, similar in length. Okay, so I grab this guy here, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to pull a few fibers back from there, and I'm going to tie that one in right in front of the foam.
What's cool is you can kind of get crazy on this and tie in whatever you want.
Truly, you
in
can.
a way. You could throw in some rubber legs in there. You could throw in some chenille in there, some different chenilles, some...
yeah, like a cactus chenille is really popular.
Yeah, what was the stuff that Colin got us that year? Remember? It was like Christmas... garland or something.
It was a crazy thing. But there's so much you can put in here. And once you see how it spins up, everything just kind of acts like so the chenille acts like a rope. It's like the center core, and then all the feathers kind of wrap around it and just puff up. It's actually a really cool technique. So what I like to do, once I got my feathers tied in, I haven't cut my chenille yet because I like to see a length so I don't waste any chenille. I'll just come down and I'll cut off the chenille at the back stem of the feathers, roughly, so that I'm not really wasting any of it.
Sean wants to know if you can throw red wire in there, and the fact of the matter is you could.
You could, and actually that would give a really strong core.
Yeah.
If you wound everything in there.
Yeah, or if you just tied red wire on the hook and then
that
went
too.
to the bar.
That's true. That'll also work. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I'm going to use here. So this is called the Gator Grip Dubbing Spinner. Okay, this is made by Loon. Package looks like this. Okay. So it also comes with that attachment there. And this is what you see me use normally when I'm using a dubbing spinner. Have this guy here.
What happened to that one there?
Well, you glued it in, some silly guy. So I had to, Rocky Mountain Flash Up had to bail me out today because I forgot to bring mine.
Delivery to the door.
Yeah, that was very good. So this is what I'm going to be using. So what could I use instead? Well, you could just grab a regular old, gator clamp on something, or even just a gator clamp.
Gator clamp?
Gator clamp.
Clamp.
You could literally just grab a gator clamp itself and just hand spin, which is fine too. Okay, this is just a tool that's been basically made for this exact pattern. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull right down to kind of the base of the stem here and gather them all together. Okay, so they're not separated, we're all together here. And now I'm gonna take my gator clamp and I'm gonna make sure I got both feathers and that chenille clamped in there, okay? Now I take my dubbing spinner and I slowly start to spin.
So something to talk about in this moment is because last week we did a brush.
Yep.
Similar concept, but
Similar
different.
concept. Similar in that the materials you can put in can basically produce the same thing. The difference with this is you're just basically using straight materials to create the core instead of using like a wire or thread. And then, all the fibers are basically just using, like the stem of the feather is used also with the core of the chenille to create the strength of the center of this brush. And you're just doing it all at once, which is kind of a neat way of doing it. If you overspin it, you do have the likelihood of breaking those stems where you tied them in. So I'm not going to overdo it. When I feel like I've got a good a good amount. And if you look here, you can see it all just kind of cored up nicely. I'm gonna come in here and I'm just gonna actually brush out and make sure I got as many of those fibers out of there as I can before I start palmering this. Then I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna start palmering it forward. And as I do, I'm gonna stroke the fibers rearward, okay? Pulling them back so they don't trap each other. We will brush this out one more time at the end, but I just wanna try to do my best to pull out as many of those fibers as I can without keeping them trapped on top of each other, okay? Now I do need a little bit of space just behind the eye, but not a crazy amount. So I'm gonna push my limits, going right up pretty close to it. And get up right to there. Basically all I gotta do is bring my foam back over. So I'm gonna leave this right about there. I'll bring my thread back into the mix. Okay, I'm gonna go behind and in front. Repeat that process. This is how I'm securing the material. So behind, we'll do 2 behind, we'll do 2 in front. Now I've done that twice, I feel safe in snipping this out. Okay, but make sure you got it good secured first, because otherwise you're gonna see all this hard work just unfold, and you don't want to do that. But right away what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pull the material back and I'm gonna make a little bit of a thread down. Okay, I wanna really make sure that those stems are bound to the hook shank and not going anywhere. Okay, so I'm just gonna make a little bit of a thread down right there. Okay. Now I'm gonna grab my brush, and it actually turned out really well without even having to brush it, but I'm just gonna brush up, kind of work my way around the whole thing, and then brush it back. Making sure I pull out as much of that as I can.
So if you're tying with us tonight, that's awesome. If you're watching and you're like, wow, guess what? This is really fast, I can't pause it or whatever. That's how do you mitigate that?
Well, we've mitigated for you by creating what we call the quick ties. So a quick tie is before each show we record two of these videos of just me tying the fly straight through without kind of any of the Danish shenanigans or the bantering or anything like that. We just go right through the flies.
Simple, quick tie, just the pattern exactly like this. But yeah, they'll be posted up on our YouTube channel, so you can try it to us tonight. It's the idea of giving you material for 5. And then you can go back and do the quick ties. And a ton of people watch the quick ties and they find that they can pause and play and kind of mitigate that. But the live stream is valuable because you can ask questions or get them to stop and ask a question about why he did something, which you can't really do. It's a little less interactive watching YouTube channels. So that's kind of what the live stream is good for. So make sure you ask questions about the flies and the patterns and the materials and the techniques that Tim is using or that we're doing.
Yeah, it's a huge valuable asset to you guys. So that's what we're here for. Ask any questions that you need to, and we'll definitely answer them. Okay. Okay. So from here, I'm gonna grab some of these silly legs. Okay. A little different than rubber legs. They're a little thinner. They're meant to actually have more flow and movement because they're not used as legs per se. They're actually used as just an added material. In theory, we're using them as mouse legs, but they're just movement against this fly. So I've just got one strand. I took one strand off there. I'm gonna fold it in half, match up those tips, and then I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna cut them in half. Cut them in half right there. So basically I'm left with 2 pieces like this. And now I'm gonna take and kind of find that halfway mark on them. And I'm gonna bring them to my side of the fly first. I'm gonna tie them in again, so it looks like I have all of them tied in on one side and 2 are facing forward, okay? So that's where I'm gonna have it for just a moment, looks like so. Then I'm just gonna grab these 2 from this side, pull them over and across, take a thread wrap to guide them onto that side of the fly, then take a few additional wraps. Okay, just like that. Now boom, they're on the other side.
A question was, can I not record this live feed? Well, you can, but also the live feed will be back on YouTube when it's done. So you can go watch the live feed again too.
Yep.
You don't need to record it. It's there. I'm sure you can download it as YouTube allows that. So yeah.
We just wouldn't be there with you per se. So if you had questions, we couldn't answer them at that time. But the advantage of the quick ties is they truly are what they are. They're called the quick tie for a reason. We just move right through the pattern quick, and you can pause and start as you need to and work your way through the pattern. Okay, so we got the legs on both sides, just like so. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna come down. I'm gonna kind of use my fingers. I'm gonna lay them on top of the fly so my fingers look like this. Gonna come down and I'm gonna split the material, pulling down both sides of the hook shank, and then pulling my foam forward and laying it across. So I basically split that material with the foam like that and created more bulk in the body of the fly, not on the top. And then when I've laid that foam right there and I've left my thread right at the eye, I'm just gonna take one wrap over, one complete wrap, number 2, and then I'm gonna pinch on the foam and pull down. And then one more wrap over will be the tightest, and then I just do additional wraps to secure. And I'm left with this. Now I'm gonna trim off this foam with just a couple of eye lengths worth of foam out in front, nothing too crazy. So it should look something like that, okay? This kind of works almost like a bill in the water. It'll kind of skate on that. Kind of like a gurgler.
Gurgler.
Very, very similar. And then from here, guys, all we're gonna do is we gave you a ton of dubbing for this. Probably enough to do 1,000 of these flies.
When in doubt, dub it out.
Or dub. I'm just gonna grab a little pinch, okay? Little pinch of dubbing. I'm gonna make a quick dubbing noodle. So as we know, we're just twisting our fingers on our thread, binding that down. We want a nice tight rope, okay? And now this is all this is gonna do is just gonna cover up our wraps there. Kind of make a nice finished head. So I'm gonna do that. And then all I'm gonna do is take my thread in front of the foam to the eye, and then I'm gonna grab my half hitch tool. You could also whip finish, would be totally fine. I'm just gonna use my half hitch tool here. So I'm just gonna place my tool on my thread, wrap around it twice, guide that to the eye, pull it off, got a good knot. One more time. Pull that down, and then from there you could add some resin if you want. On this one, I don't really love doing resin because I'm gonna be pushing it right into that dubbing I just put on, and it kind of makes a bit of a mess. I feel good and secure with that knot in the thread. So the last piece of the puzzle here is I want to pull those legs back, and I want to trim them off roughly at the length of where the foam is here at the back. Okay, so my foam ends here. I'm just gonna pull the leg out, trim it just a little shorter. Same thing with these ones. These ones are pretty close. Take just a little off. I should be left with a fly. It looks just like that. That is the complex twist mouse.
So I beg the question to be asked.
Ask away.
Some people say that a worm
Yes.
is not a fly.
Why?
Because it's not a fly. It's not a fly. It doesn't come from the fly world.
Is a mouse a fly?
Then that's what I'm asking. I beg the question.
Is
because,
a streamer a fly?
Well, it's a bait fish, so it's,
Still not a...
We call it streamer,
bug.
but we call it flies because it's like an entomologist's dream to name this fly. But what I ask the question is, why does everybody get so freaking excited or mythical in gesture when they ask about the mouse? And have you ever caught a mouse? And have you ever been out mousing at night and caught a fish? I said caught a mouse, but I meant a fish on a mouse.
Yeah.
And then the second question is, why does it always have to be at night? Why does the unicorn only fly at night?
Well,
why does the Sasquatch only show up when you don't have a camera?
Mice are known to be more nocturnal, so I would say that there's maybe a greater possibility that they would be out and active. But that being said, I don't think it's impossible for a mouse to enter the water. The only fish I've ever caught on a mouse was during the day.
That's what I'm getting at.
So I don't think, trout see bugs at night too. So
I'm asking a question. Does anybody know why it is so mythical in nature to talk about a trout, and they're brown trout?
Well, even better.
The big brown trout you caught on the mouse in at night. I've always been curious about that because it's one of the... Let's do this. People always ask through text or emails or conversation for us to talk about some guiding stories. So, although I don't want to bring up names of people, I do want.
It's Sean Ellison, isn't it?
I do not want to bring up Sean Ellison's name more than I need to. But what I do want to ask, and let's do this kind of together here.
Yeah.
Is first of all, why is Yeah, we need some killer.
Yeah,
This song's called
music.
Killer Vibe.
Oh, I like that.
So let's ask this question for you guys. We're gonna go into play bingo. Oh yeah, what we got is only one 25% code has been used.
Oh, so somebody else should get at it.
So all caps. Welcome back, Tim. Gets you 25% off at Rocky Mountain Fly Shop. Only one of those has been used, and we've got a 30 and a 40 or something coming up.
Nice.
But here, this is just a conversation piece because this has been asked of me many times.
Yeah.
So, let's make a list of, and Aaron, you can help us out if you want. He's back in the background. Let's say 5 things. Okay. You guys feel free to jump in on this conversation with us. We're way ahead of time. And the Copper John it's not super quick, but 5 questions, 5 things that you could say clients ask uniformly every day on the river. We'll make this list between the 3 of us. Whoa, look at that.
Woohoo, tack in the floor. That could have been our
tacky.
foot. Ooh. Okay, can I go first?
Yeah, so think I just making sure I don't miss any questions.
Actually,
from
there
you
is
guys.
one. I want you to go back up. So Jerry had a question here, or Gary, sorry, whichever. No
100%.
stupid question here at all.
Yeah.
That we love having new. We should give you some snaps. Somebody new in the house.
Oh yeah, round of snaps.
We love having new people in the show. Thank you for joining us. A great candidate for this fish, for this meal, to what kind of animal or fish or whatever. I think there's a lot of documentation that says that most fish would eat it.
Would you say that? It's a great question, and because you ask questions, we can stimulate conversation, and it doesn't. We're all new. Fly fishing is a lifetime achievement, and none of us are dead, so we're still new to the sport. So feel free to ask these questions, but this is really good because my take on it is that it's not what kind of fish, it's geographically where's the fish.
Mm-hmm.
So on the bow, maybe. Okay, on a lake where maybe they see more mice because that's kind of their food source. But when you go further up into more remote places where maybe they have to eat bigger meals like mice, and I know Alaska is very popular.
Less bugs.
Where? Russia.
Yeah.
And so trout, pike, brown trout, rainbow trout. I don't think walleye would really be surface.
Just because they're
like
deeper,
that.
yeah.
Chaz has probably caught a goldeye on them.
Everything.
But yeah, I would bass.
For sure bass, 100%.
For sure bass. What's the other one? They're coming really popular, and they look like...
Give me something to work with.
Like carp.
Oh, yeah.
And they catch them a lot on top water. So, yeah, I think it's more just kind of like the area. And if mice are... to the area and to the food source, then that fish or the species of fish is going to predate them.
Yeah.
Because they would get hungry.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, keep
Agreed.
asking those questions. There's 0%. There's no new questions and there's no senior questions.
And Mike just uses them because he can't tie a size 20 Adams in the dark.
That's a good point.
See you later, Dave. Have a good night, buddy.
Okay, so we're making this list. Feel free to keep asking questions. Download your bingo cards. But the question and the list that I want to gather or make or whatever you want to call it is what are five most common, like if you could take 100 trips a year and say these 5 questions were asked the most, what would your first one be?
So how do you row the boat back up the river at the end of
That's
the
what
day?
I was going to say. Yeah, that
number one question.
Number one question. Cam, do you want to write these down and make a list for us so we can compile these? Because it'd be a good post. The number one question that we get asked, because I was thinking the same thing, was as you're going down the river. So we have a shuttle. So we put in here, and our shuttle takes our truck and our boat to where we're getting out. So and then you float and then you get out. A lot of times people look upstream quite often, and I say, "Are you wondering how we get back?" And they're like, "Yeah, how do you row this thing all the way back?" To which I say, whoever doesn't catch a fish has to row back, and I get 10 minutes to fish.
I think that's a great idea.
I know. So, anyways, number 1. Aaron, you got one for us? Okay, I'll do number 2, and they're not in an order, but that's a very popular one. I would say one of them is, no, really? You think that was a fish?
You mean when your indicator was drowning itself?
I think somebody over in Asia literally got a good look at that indicator. Yeah. So I hear that a lot. Is they look back, they're like, really? You think that was really a fish?
Mm-hmm.
Don't know. Set the hook and we'll find out. And that surprisingly happens, not just on indicator fishing, but on hopper fishing.
Dry flies, yeah.
Sometimes a classic eat on a dry fly is if this is the surface. Do you have a fly over there?
Yeah. You want a big one?
No, it doesn't matter. So this is the surface of the water. We see this? And the fish literally comes up and it sucks the water. Okay, it pulls the hopper or the whatever. It would probably smash a mouse more than that. But yeah, it doesn't come up and eat it like you classically see. It just breaches very little, and then it sucks water through its gills, and your fly literally looks like a toilet bowl, and it just disappears.
Toilet bowl? Toilet bowl?
Toilet bowl flush. So oftentimes we're like, set the hook. And I can't tell you how many times I've had people look back and they're like, really? You really think that was a fish? And then their fly's still gone. Their dry fly is still gone.
It hasn't come back to the surface yet.
And then it comes back to the surface and it's gone.
He's gone.
Okay, that's number 2.
You got one there?
Do you always get skunked?
You just blanking hardcore? Yeah.
Okay, maybe our list will be 3. Why are we fishing here?
Yeah.
Question commonly asked is they doubt your ability to take them to the fishy water. So
trust is earned on the water, and sometimes it takes a long time.
Yeah.
But when you get that first eat in that 6-inch water that you've been fishing all day, and they believe in you finally, it's like what I want to say to most clients when you get asked about that stuff is that well, I don't have to say anything else other than the time spent.
Say that again. When you get that eat in what?
In that.
Yeah.
42 feet of water.
What you meant to say was not that.
Yeah, not that. Sorry. Then you just you what you want to say is it's just my voice of experience. I've been done the same route however many times. This is where we find fish. But it is a common question for sure.
So everyone's adding to this, and Scott Lorenz says, "What's your favorite fly?" That is a very common question, and to add to that, Scott, I often get asked, what. I'm trying to think how to word it properly. What flies are working right now as you're fully fishing? And then I'm like, oh yeah, like the green tack works really well right now, and
the ones that are on your line that I chose at the start of the day, those are the ones that are working right now. We wouldn't put flies on that didn't work.
Yeah. Does the river go around to the truck? That's part of the shuttle thing.
Like,
for sure.
come on, dude, you can't be outing us like this.
Do you always put the hot girl in the front of the boat?
It's a weight thing.
No, that's not true.
No, sorry, that's wrong
you
too.
You want to put the weight in the front of the boat.
Maybe she's a big girl.
Yeah. Yeah. You put the girl in the front. That way you can,
you keep an eye on them. You know what's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, I said it out loud again. You just got to help them more.
Yeah. So Mike, I think we're kind of behind on the comments here. It's got to be. Is there more chocolate croissant?
Yeah,
I know that's all he comes for. I'm like, dude, $700 trip could cost you $3.
Yeah, it's different.
You're gonna leave with the same thing. No pictures of you with a fish and a chocolate croissant.
Oh man, but another sticker on TNL. So
yeah.
I mean, what is it?
Yeah, well, he is that. Why don't we switch flies? There's a good point.
That's a great question. Eric, I like that one too. Yeah.
Do I have to tip? So no. The tipping thing is something we will get into, but nobody says, do you have to tip? They just don't tip. Yeah, I've had the question from an outfitter standpoint when people call to book a trip, and then weirdly, we are full.
Yeah. Sean, why did you wait to show me the fish at the boat launch?
Well, that was when he was ready for it.
Yeah.
Young grasshopper, the Jedi says, until you are ready for it.
That's why they call it
fishing and not catching.
Sean, there's times you've got to be ready for the fish. And sometimes it takes you all day. And then when the fish cometh, Sean is readyeth.
Until then, he was going to start a sticker business.
I like that, Doug. Did you graduate from FFBR guide school?
Yeah. Well, if they're having a great day with Doug, then yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Then yes.
Do I pee off the front or the back of the boat? Yeah. So weirdly had a guy pee off my boat. I don't care. You know what? It's just
I'm
whatever.
not with you there.
Oh, I care, but it's like piss or piss. Like I had a girl hang over the side one. That was different.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer, and I can find you a spot. And if your mobility is not great, I'll give you a wiffle ball bat.
Yeah. So Chaz said a question is, how many fish are we going to catch? Very common question. Yeah. I try to mitigate that beforehand by saying none.
Yeah.
Juke.
Undersell it.
Trout wants to juke. Are you sure there are fish here? That's a very... That's a very common question, and I often ask the question myself.
Sometimes I just wonder.
I don't know where they all are. It's interesting because, like, I ask the question, beg the question: Do clients think the guide wants to go down the river and not catch fish?
Yeah,
because it's really boring for us too.
There's nothing your guide wants more for you.
It's true.
Than to catch fish.
Yeah,
that's what we want.
And sometimes they're incompetent and they don't really know, and the river's changing on them. But that's why you got to do your homework before you pick a guide. And not just every paid advertisement produces a good guide.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of those that pop up, especially in the Albertas where it's not regulated.
Yeah.
So that's a great question, Blake said. Yeah. What's your real job? How many times do you get that?
Oh, man. Yeah.
It's like,
I would say.
It's like, what's your real job?
What do you really do? Yeah. Why can't this be my real...
It is.
It might be my real job.
It is. Well, it is.
It is now.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, I think for me, another huge one is what flies hatch here.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of talk about flies and what comes off. And I love that question because it stimulates conversation for a long time. Lots to talk about in the fly department. So
yeah. And oftentimes I tell people... whether they're booking a trip or whether they're my clients on the river is like, say we catch no fish today. What do you want to take out of your day? And it's a great question to think about if you're going on a guided trip. And it's a great question to ask your clients if you're a guide, because Bruce, I'll talk on that one. But the thing is because some days don't produce fish. I don't care who you are. We don't control that. We mitigate a lot of things to help put us in the situation that's best for catching more fish. But at the same time, a guide is working through verbal cues to get you to do something to perform. So I always ask the question, if we don't catch any fish today, what could make you happy? I do get a couple like death stares from people that don't like that question, but I think it's really important to ask because like Tim said, when they ask about the flies and the bugs and the entomology and the hatching, we can leave here better anglers and learning some stuff, and teaching's a big part of being a guide.
Huge part, yeah.
So that's good. When will Canada? They won't. That's a good fact.
Oh, yes, Mike. I appreciate the tangles.
How many guides do you know of that float the bow? Legit guides, 15. Randos, 40.
At least.
Yeah.
And I feel for people coming in to book a trip because it is It isn't what this would be my suggestion. When you're going in and you're searching, look at reviews, because nobody is going to give you a more honest answer than someone who's already been there.
Yeah.
So like if someone's got a lot of good reviews and you feel comfortable with it, then that's something you're comfortable with. You go try. People can't fake Google reviews, because I mean, unless they have 3,000 emails, like it's a lot of work to fake that stuff. So I would just say look at reviews. Makes a big difference.
Yeah. And just do your homework. Like ask around. Like for us, people call. We're not for everyone, and everyone's not for us, and that's okay, because that's why there's Pepsi and Coke and Dr. Pepper, because different flavors for everybody. But yeah, just do your homework. If you don't feel right, don't do it. MF Dewey wants a spinning reel and throw a Len Thompson. So my answer to that question is no. And it's not no, you can't do that. It's I don't know how to do that.
No.
I mean, we can do it. But I'm a fly fishing guide, and my expertise is in fly fishing, and it's not my thing. I don't know what we're doing. I can't teach you to play tennis either.
Mm-hmm. I like Patty's comment, probably one of the most here. It says, most fish inhabit beautiful places. Don't miss it.
Yeah.
A fish is a bonus.
It's everything.
It's huge.
Like Bruce wrote in there, like, take me to the lakey water.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I've got to spend a lot of time with Bruce in my boat. And some of our most fun days are these chaotic, like the one day what he's talking about was we could not catch a fish. Bruce couldn't, to save his life, our life. Like,
yeah.
And we sat in this one hole, which kind of parlays or segues into the Copper John. As I said, I know there's fish in this. They're guaranteed this bucket. So I said, we're going to go 3 casts, fish through this bucket, and then we'll switch a fly. We'll just keep switching every fly in my fly box until we catch a fish. And then when we catch them, we know that that's the one that's working. So we went through a bunch of flies, and we finally got to the Copper John. First cast in, he rolled a tank brown, which he lost. Common.
Classic.
So I was like, that's it. The guarantee that's it, because how many flies did we float through here? And the first time that one came in, it ate it. Let's move on. And then for the rest of the day, I don't know, it was somewhere between 20 and 30 whitefish. All we caught was whitefish. And so Bruce kept turning around. He's like, take me to the lakey water where the whitefish live. And we just had an absolute riot out of that day. At the end of the day, he brings his flies in, and his Copper John is bent. Like the shaft of the hook is bent. But yeah, so we enjoyed our company. We couldn't control what happened with the fishing, but it was just super fun because, like Patty said, we just enjoyed the beautiful place. We enjoyed the friendship. We enjoyed the conversation. And that's just kind of a memory that we have for a really long time. Are we seeing more older, larger, or smaller, younger, or a good mix?
I'd actually see it's a pretty good mix.
I don't understand the question.
I think
fully.
the age of people that are on our boats.
It's a good mix. Yep, 100%. A lot of couples, guy, girls. Yeah, it's a real solid mix. Yeah, let's go play some bingo. You guys got your bingo cards here.
Bingo cards are ready.
You get your bingo cards. SOS. Dana doesn't have his bingo cards. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to head over here because we've got I told them we would get a discount code. This one here needs to be used. So just to give you guys fair warning, you have this discount code. I'm gonna drop the 30% right here. So if you're I'll give you about 10 seconds. We're going to drop the 30% discount code, and then we're going to go into bingo. So we're going to fart with a lot of things here. But yeah, Dewey was asking about client questions, 100%, because they do ask that, and that's what I tell them. But that's mitigated before they get in the boat.
Yeah. Talk the
All right,
expectations.
30% discount code coming up for one single person out there. And, well, that's simply it. TNL for the win.
Nice. TNL for the win.
All right. What are the prizes tonight? That's a surprise because
Ooh, I like surprises.
I completely arfed up and got, the band performance and stuff. We have a couple T-shirts, a sun shirt from Orvis. We have a sun shirt from Joe Say, Alberta Fly Girl. And we have a package of stickers, and we have freeze-dried goods from Morning View Mercantile. And we'll get 3 different packages of different items that they've frozen up right there. And I totally forgot
to pull them out, but we know what they are.
I know what they are because I see them sitting in the other room, and it's hot in here. So there's the 30% off discount code. And Jerry or Gary, don't remember how to say his name. Not sure if he'll let us know, but best of luck. Oh, did we look at the baking camp tonight?
I don't think we have.
Treats So Sweet.
Oh, I'm not sure I'm ready.
Treats So Sweet. I don't know. I wrote too many songs.
Too much rapping earlier.
All right, folks. Every episode we have a baking cam, and today nobody sent anything in. You can send in baking with a recipe or whatever you want to do, but we got almost nothing. So I thought this treat would do everybody just fine.
Oh, I hope this is what I think it is. Yeah.
That is the treat that you all need in your life. I can tell right now, jowls are salivating.
Oh, man.
And hide your kids, hide your wife.
That's a hungry kitty.
Oh, wow, this is so amazing. That is awesome. And that's all I got for the baking cam because nobody sent anything in. So do send some bacon in because it really makes the show a lot better than just us being so darn sweet there up on camera. Well, let's get your bingo cards
so darn
out.
Sweet.
Yeah,
All right.
we're gonna play.
Let's play some bingo. How does this work?
Okay, so you got your bingo card, right? Yeah, and you just pull it up and you get one line. Joom, 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 boom, boom, bam. Whatever way that line works,
boom, bam.
it's fine. And then if you get bingo, what do you do, Tim?
Well, you got to call out bingo. You got to let us know which call it was on. So if, for instance, call 1's up there. If it was on 1, you got to call it. Then you also need to give us the code that's in the corner of your card so that we can verify. And even if you do go bingo, we're going to give it a second because oftentimes it's a tie. And there's a couple bingos which we have a way to do a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to let you wait to find out what comes after that.
That's a good point.
In case we got a few calls up there
There's
now.
always a bit of a trick after that.
Yes.
Joe said, a treat so sweet, it'll swipe you off your feet.
Oh, nice, Joe.
And then everyone thinks we look baked, so Bruce called it the baked cam. The baked cam.
The baked cam.
Anyways, that's how you play Flango, folks. It's totally free. 1-800-FREE.
Don't call it, though. I wonder what you would get.
Absolutely free, Tim.
What should we call? Should I
call it 1-800-FREE and see who answers?
No, because that's not enough numbers, Tim.
That is 1-800-FREE.
FREE. You need 3 more. 1-800-556-FREE.
There you go.
Anyways, just yell it out. Bingo, call number, and your bingo ID, and then we'll slam it in the system here. We'll verify your winnings, and then we'll ship you out all those good things that I talked about. Show us your bearded nipple. It's only come out once before. Look at that. Oh, you gotta rise and shine. Your mom's watching, Tim.
I know my mom's watching. I can't show my nipples. My mom is watching.
Okay,
Sorry, Mom.
So we got 5. So we do a little bit of a delay because at the end of the day, there is a delay. And sometimes people come in late and say, wow, bingo. And then we got to scramble back. That's why it's important to use your call number, like call 5. Because if you did come in late saying bingo and your call was before the person that said bingo,
yeah, we know.
And you're good. All right. Fly fishing Bow River. So we got Ruby-Eyed Leech, the Boogeyman, the Wizard.
He's coming up. Wait. You just wait, folks.
Wow, I can't wait for some of the new folk in here. See, a lot of people show up at this time of the night because they just want to win Super duper cool prizes, and looks like nobody's winning. So hopefully I've got the right bingo card here. And yeah, Purple Haze. That is a great fly. We'll be tied in a couple weeks' time.
Yes, that is coming up, isn't it? Where is it? It's way down
Little
there.
ways, little ways.
Little ways to go.
Yeah. All right. Did we lose everybody?
Bingo, Eric.
Augustin called freaking bingo. Diagonal does work. Aaron, your lady friend.
Might be in it.
Any line, one line. Eric, so pay attention to the details.
Yes.
His card's 056. We need to know which call you got it on. And Kate, if you've got it too, well, you know what to do. He's on the Purple Haze. So he's on number 7. Tom Pape is bingo. Bingo 37? Oh, 30. Bingo. Okay, you guys got to let us know what call. Say call 7654321. Okay.
Oh, man.
Hillbilly
we got
wins
it.
again.
It's going now. Oh, man. Tom's on call 7.
Okay, we're going to write some of these down.
All right. I can write if you got paper. Okay, we got... You have to scroll back up for me.
Okay, so Kate is 059 on call 6.
9, call 6. Okay.
So Eric is out because he was on Purple Haze. Pape was on Purple Haze, so he's out.
Okay. Adrian's got a 6.
Adrian, what?
At the bottom, bingo
call 6. So Adrian, let us know. Big week for the Adrian. He got himself a Norvise, as well as he could be the winger. The winger.
Okay.
All right. The best part about this, if Kate wins, is we don't have to ship it.
That's true.
Kate win. True. Kate win.
Come on, Kate. You can do it.
Okay, Kate's on 6. Adrian's on 6. Let's just see. What was the last segment? I guess it was Guide's Corner.
Yeah.
We've been forgetting Guide's Corner because.
Adrian, what's your?
Adrian's on 6. What's your bingo number?
Bingo number. Let us know. I think that's it, yeah, because Tom is on 7.
Billy 7, Eric 7. Flinker's got the wrong card. Does your card look like the American flag? Because it's the new one for this week.
That's all you'll know. All right, Adrian, we just need to know what's your bingo ID. And then we can dish it
so
out.
we're going to put in tiebreaker here. Where did that tiebreaker go?
That's a good question.
Nobody's got Captain Clutch out of those fine folks.
Well, that tells me the odds of winning.
Okay, so Kate is great. What's her number?
She is 059.
059.
And Adrian is 045.
All right, the good news and the bad news is that neither of them have purchased a... Okay, Rick, so you do have the wrong card. They're Maple Leaf. I don't know there was a Maple Leaf on any of them. You might be playing down at the Legion and not even anywhere near.
Is your dabber working?
So if you do play bingo and you don't want to lose it all to the Wizard,
Captain Clutch.
You're going to need to get yourself a Captain Clutch. These stickers go for sale for $50 on our website. And why are they so expensive? Because they're basically immunity from what's about to happen to some of these fine folks next. All right, Kate. All right, Adrian. Fine viewers, those two. Let's wish them the best. And we're going to hit go on the clicker on the tiebreaker and see who. Adrian.
Adrian's got it. Sorry, Kate.
Oh, that sucks.
That's.
It
It doesn't matter. He's not winning anyways.
Well, Adrian, let's see what the Wizard has for you. If you guys are new, Gary, you're going to want to stick around for this because we're going to say hey and thank you to our wonderful sponsors. And then we're going to come back with a little bit of treat.
For you.
our vision for it is for people to come out here to enjoy the spot and to find peace, I guess. Like, a lot of people ask us if we're gonna get Wi-Fi out here, and we're like, no, like this is a place to disconnect and reconnect with your family and with yourself and just find quiet.
You thought you had more time than this. No time to you. Adrian, I pity the fool. Look at this. The wizard never looks so strong. Never. Oh my goodness. Oh no, we've got a problem. What's that? Oh no. The wizard looks buff today. The wizard and we're gonna have to play this. Oh my goodness. Just play this again because I don't have this set up over here, Tim. Screwed up again. That's okay. We could be screwed up. Forgive me, please. Okay. Oh my goodness, Tim. Just keep telling me so nobody sees. Oh my goodness. Let's see if this. Oh, there it is. Oh no. That's good, the wizard sucks. I don't know what to say, man. Oh my goodness. You screwed that up. Is this your first day? Alright, hang on. That was last week's. That was last week's. We're just playing mind. Oh my goodness. Hang on a sec. For 3. Oh my goodness. Oh, we're struggle fest. Okay, what happened there? Alright. Struggling. See what you guys have done? You've literally put the wizard. Alright, there we go. Do you think it's door number 1? Figure it out. This is just a mind game. That's all we did to you. Yeah. See, well done, Wizard 2. We got this. Well done, Wizard 2. Boom. Wizard 2, Wizard 1. They always win. Always. Oh. Okay, we got this figured. We can do this. Adrian. Yeah, see, John, he wins all the time. But what I had to do was play a game of trickery. Adrian, he's picked door number 1. Oh my goodness. You can't do that. Well, you already saw behind door number 1, Adrian. Let's do it. Let's just do it. He picked door number 1. Let's finish him. No. Finish him. No. Finish him. Okay, let's do it. Okay, I hear you. I don't know how to open door number 1 again. Really? You already did it? Okay. Alright, Adrian. The wizard, you guys have rattled the wizard this year. And you've chosen door number 1 because he thinks John Miller has the secret sauce going on. Well, Adrian, you can have a little bit of suck-in. Stickers. Door number 1 never felt so good to just give away some stickers. Yeah, man. Take that, Adrian, and John, and everybody else who has defeated me in my pastime. No happening. No fun. Absolutely no fun for anyone. It's good to be back. It's good to be back. It's good to be back in the winning streak. And you know what this means. Next week, the prize is double. Double. So get your Captain Clutch sticker before you get beat by the wizard. And don't say you weren't warned.
Oh, tell a joke.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways,
There you
that's how she goes.
I thought it was hot before.
Oh, Xavier gets the stickers and he's pumped. So that's
All
good.
right,
Everybody's
right,
a winner.
that's good.
The winner's a wizard. Xavier's a wizard. John and Adrian are losers.
Wizards. Yeah. Wizards.
All right.
The
Well,
wonderful
that
wizards.
was a complete disaster on my part.
I think it worked out quite well.
Because it was a good mind trickery.
Yeah, I thought it was actually worked out well.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's get some music.
Yeah.
Let's tie some fly. Let's get that Copper John.
Let's do it.
Let's get the party going. Let's head over to the tying cam and tie some Papa John.
Copper John. Uno momento, please. I am all hooked up. Oh, that is some hair. Okay. The wizard hair is everywhere. Attached to. Okay, guys, let's get to this Copper John. This is a good one. It's we all get to work with biots, which are my least favorite thing. And if there was a quick ties blooper, you would know that it didn't go all that well for me earlier. But we will get through it together. I'm gonna switch over my mic and we will get going. Okay, so head on into, oh my, seriously. Go into your kit and grab your Copper John legs in a size 14. Oh, could show it there, could show it here. This is the guy we're gonna go into.
See, Sean thinks the show was full of the fizzard, not the real wizard, and now he's excited because the wizard's back.
Wizard is back. No more losing. We got this. Okay, so we're gonna get into these kits. Get those staples out of there. You're gonna get, this is a bead head as well, so we're gonna get the bead fixed onto the hook. You're gonna notice when you open your kit, you already have this fly tied once for you, just like that. It'll be in the bag for you. And then, I'm just gonna move this just a smidgeroony. Too much. Right there. Okay. Get a little better view of this. So let's go in, let's get the bead on our hook and then the hook into our vise. Remember that when you put the bead on the hook, we want to put the point of the hook through the smaller hole on the bead. Work the bead around the hook shank and then, yeah, get it fixed into your vise. This is a size 14 nymph hook. Okay, we're gonna be tying on today. Go ahead and get that in here. Get it nice and level. Sort of close. You want to be able to get some access into the bend of the hook on this one, just because you do have those biots to put on back there, which can just be a little bit of a hassle. So, as I had said earlier, I'm going to be switching over my thread. I'm going to be using a UTC 70 in black. If I can find where I put it on my desk, I will use it. So we want to use something a little bit thinner on the smaller fly, if you have it available to you. Am I losing my mind, or where did that go? Oh, there it is. Okay. So, yeah, we're going to be using black UTC 70, something a little smaller. I'm going to start my thread just behind the bead. I'm going to work my thread back all the way to the hook barb. Okay, so I'm going to let my thread down. Oof, that is tipped down in a bad way. I'm super anal about that being very level. It's pretty close. Okay, so once I get to this point, I'm going to trim out that tag end. I'm going to go over to my materials bag. So you're going to notice you actually have quite a few things in there, and it seems crazy, but we will use them all. But there is quite a bit of stuff. So we've got some crystal flash in there. We've got some feathers. I kind of fibbed. We won't use it all. There's one thing we added that we're not going to tie with tonight because it actually isn't the normal pattern, but we gave it to you as an option that you could also do instead of using the rubber legs. You could do it with the traditional, hackle legs, okay, soft hackle legs. But we're not going to do that. We're going to do this as the original pattern that we're going to do for this time. You've also got some wire in here. You also got some peacock herl. So let's go ahead and get your biots, okay? So they come on, this is actually off the front of a wing feather on a bird, okay? So we're going to take off 2. So I like to kind of break it in the middle somewhere, and I'm just gonna lift it up. I got 2 of the biots. I'm gonna take them off the stem, and they have that little bit of a bump at the back, like that. I'm just gonna cut that bump off so that it's not in our way and that they'll basically become unattached from each other. Scissors are struggling today. I'm gonna flip them around, and now when you originally see them, they come and they're kind of together like this, but we want them to be facing in an opposing way. So we wanna flip the one over. See if I can show you this. So that they actually splay apart.
Splay away.
Splay apart like that, okay? And then you also want to match up the tips so the tips are the same in length. So this can be a little tough at times to work with these bites. They're kind of slippery. When you tie them in, as I did once already today, they have a tendency of wanting to spin on the hook shank at the back too. There is different techniques to do it. I'm going to show you the way that I like to do it most and I find the most success, okay? So we want a tail that's somewhere between 1/2 and 3/4 of the overall length of that hook shank out the back of the fly. Once I get it there, I'm going to kind of pinch them so they're on top but slightly on either edge of the hook shank. I'm going to switch hands. I'm going to pinch down on them. I'm going to take my other hand, get it on the hook shank, take a couple of really tight wraps, and then move my thread forward, okay? So by pinching them, I'm hopefully held them in a place where they can't move on me. So then you see what I have here. I have some nice splayed biots, okay? That's the best technique that I have for it. Some people have put them on one at a time. Then they've got a system that works for them. For me, I have struggled with these things, and for me, this works best. So I stuck it on. I wanted them to be slightly on either edge of the hook, and then when I put them on, you can see there, they splayed nicely. I pinched them down, took a few hard thread wraps, and I am gonna go back over them slightly, but be careful, because if you do any of the wrong tension wraps, it could move them. But I want my thread to go all the way back to that barb again, okay? So those actually stayed in place nicely for me. Then I'm gonna work my thread forward, and I'm gonna cover up the butt ends of it, and then I'm gonna get ready for my next material. So my next material is going to be the copper wire. That is the Copper John gets its name from. This is nice because it adds some weight to the fly too, so you get a little extra added weight. I'm gonna take this and slide it just inside the bead on the near side of the fly. So I'll show you what it would look like on your side. I tuck it up under there, but I'm gonna do it on the near side of the fly to me. Tuck it just inside the bead and start taking some thread wraps back, and I wanna keep it on this side of the hook for me. Doesn't really matter where you keep it per se, it's just that for a visual standpoint, you can see it well and you can work with it well. We're gonna take that all the way back to the edge of where we tied in those biots, and then we're gonna return our thread up to just behind the bead. I'm gonna throw a little half hitch in there, save my work. And now from here, I'm just gonna wrap this forward. So we're gonna wrap our wire forward basically 3/4 of the way up. We're gonna leave a little space behind the head for our legs and our thorax. And we do have quite a few materials we're gonna kind of all tie in together at once there. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna use the rotating function on my vise to do touching wraps all the way forward with this wire. Now, touching wraps means that yes, they are close to each other, but they don't have to be like super tight. It's actually not a bad thing if you can see some of that black thread, that dark thread between them, because it gives the body of this fly some segmentation, and it just gives it probably.
And the whitefish never complained. Yeah,
never once, never once. Okay, so I'm gonna bring it about that 3/4 of the way up. Leave myself a little space to work with because I got other things to do here. I'm gonna take some thread wrap behind and in front. Repeat that, behind and front, 3 times. And now I can either snip this out, helicopter it off, use Dana's scissors as my option. And
What are Dana scissors?
Wow. They're crummy scissors that you can actually get at a Rocky Mountain Fly Shop for like $5.
Yeah, and they're designed exactly for that purpose of cutting things you shouldn't cut with Tim scissors.
Yeah, which are the good ones.
Sure, they're Shore scissors that are Tim's, and I get the credit. Well, mine were good.
Until I started using them. Okay, guys, so what we got here is we got some Crystal Flash. So I'm just going to take a piece of Crystal Flash out of this big bunch we have. I'm going to snip it. So I'm basically left with like a 4 or 5 inch strand. I'm going to fold that over my thread, bring my thread up to just behind the bead, and I'm going to take a couple of thread wraps rearward. Okay, until I get to right where I left that copper wire, and I'm just going to leave it out the back. Now, many different materials could be used for this next piece. Believe it or not, if you're tying out of the kit, I want you to drop in the comments what you believe this material is.
That's a good question because it's a good topic of conversation based on the fact that it's so good.
It's super good.
We've used it before on TNL.
We have,
Yep.
Now, what I'm going to do with this material, it's going to work like what we would call a flashback or a
nymph skin.
Nymph skin, yep.
Or a 1987 Janis Joplin
yeah.
cassette tape.
Cassette tape. Take a peek at it. That's what it is. Cassette tape. People get funky about patterns. They get funky about the materials you use. But I'm telling you, think outside the box when it comes to materials sometimes. So this is a little wide. I want it to be, I don't know, about 2/3 that width. So I'm just going to come in with my scissors. This stuff actually cuts really easily, lengthwise. And I'm going to cut the strip to be a little bit narrower than it is currently. And it just makes it a little bit easier to build this flashback with. But what I will say is this material is somewhat delicate. So you got to be a little careful when you're working with it. Okay? So I cut it a little thinner. Now I want to tie this in right on top of the fly, just behind the bead. Okay, so it does need to stay on top of the fly. It shouldn't be moving around or be on the side. So you get a good gathering wrap to pinch it right on top of the hook shank. Then we can take some thread wraps back just to where we left. So it looks just like that. We're just right on top of the fly. That's good and secure. Now we're going to come back to the midway point of that space that we created. Okay, right in the middle of it. Now I'm actually going to take one more wrap back. Right there. So I'm going to come to the midway point. Now we're going to go in and grab the rubber legs that are in your kit. Okay. They're just going to be white barred legs. Look like this. Okay, we want to grab just 2 of those sections. It's going to do. I'm going to break them apart, stack them back on top of each other, and I'm going to tie them both in together, and then I'll separate them. So I'm going to tie them in right on top, kind of the midway point in the length. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then I'm just going to let the weight of the bobbin pull pressure down, and then I can pull one to my side, pull one over to that side. And the thing about these legs is if I pull tight, watch what happens. They move, right? They're going to move around a bit. So you can still always adjust them, but understand they are kind of a bit of a moving target in a sense. So be careful with how much you do with the tight wraps. I like to use wraps, but use them lightly. And it actually holds them in place a little nicer.
Ron Croto is off to bed.
See, Ron?
He's got to work early. So, yeah, you have yourself a great sleep, and appreciate you coming tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so actually the last material we're going to put in here before we start wrapping this fly up, per se, is we have peacock herl. Okay, so I want you to grab a couple strands of peacock herl. I would say always kind of look for the bushier ones that have fibers on them that look like they're a little fuller. Then we're going to match up the stems of these two, and I'm going to kind of draw up to the top of them. I'm going to find, when I get near the tips, I'm going to just tear the tips off. So I got covered by the tips. Going to pinch them off because the tops are quite fragile. And I'm left with 2 pieces here. Now I'm actually going to tie these in right in the middle where I tied those legs in. Take a thread wrap, pull back slightly. You can see I can pull that material back so it's behind the bead. A couple more light wraps. And now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take a wrap back behind the rubber legs in the back side and secure it down back there because that's where we're going to start wrapping this stuff. So once I've done that, now I'm just going to work my thread forward. Okay, work it forward to just behind the bead. Now I'm gonna grab both of those peacock herl together. I'm gonna do a wrap behind those rubber legs. Kind of pull them out of the way. In fact, I'm actually gonna do 2. Whoop. 2 wraps behind them. And now as I come up and over, I'm gonna cross to the middle. I'm gonna do 2 wraps in the middle. 1, 2. And as I come back up and over, I'm again gonna hop in front of those legs. So we're working around the legs the whole time. And do a full 1 rotation in front of them. And then I'm gonna bring my thread up and over and tie off that peacock herl. Make sure this peacock herl is definitely secured before we cut it off. Otherwise, everything we just did is gonna kind of come undone. So I've got that secured. And now the last and final piece of the puzzle is gonna come together. We're gonna pull the flash back over, and then we're gonna pull over the crystal flash. So now I'm just gonna pull on this a little bit. Be careful, because it is, like I said, can be a little bit delicate. But we do want that to be right up on top of the hook shank. I'm gonna suck it in just behind that bead. Then I'm gonna pull my flash over top and lay it right on top of that flashback. And do the same thing. We're securing that down. Again, behind the bead. Once we get that in place, I'm gonna take a couple more light wraps. I'll pull those legs out of the way, it makes it a little easier. And I'm gonna trim out the flashback and the crystal flash so it's no longer in my way. And that's what you're left with, okay? So I built the thorax. You can see that nice bushy peacock herl coming out both sides. Now I'm gonna grab my whip finisher. I'm gonna whip finish this fly. And then we have a little bit of UV resin stuff to do. 3 turns, cinch that off. That's gonna be more than enough because we're gonna have some resin going on this. I'll set that aside. And now I'm gonna grab my Solarez Thin Hard formula, okay? You can use any Solarez. You don't even need to do this on the back. This just gives it a little bit more of a better durability and aesthetic appeal, I think. So we're gonna put a little dab of this right on top of the back of the thorax. Okay, so I'm gonna reach it back to just touch the copper wire and then bring it forward to on top of the bead. And we wanna create just this little bubble here. You don't wanna overdo it. You want it to be just enough. Once you like it where it is, zap it so it stays. And it gives you a little bit of a bubble head on that thorax. And what you're gonna see when I flip it over is you're gonna be able to see that crystal flash come through that clear UV resin, and it just gives a little extra sparkle in the light. Like so.
Better late than never. That's Rosina.
That's Rosina.
She dances because she loves resin on flies.
She does, that is a fact.
Makes her happy.
It does. Okay guys, the last thing I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna trim up the legs. Okay, so remember, leave them long. You can trim them with your forceps when you're out on the river if you to length if you want a different length. I'll show you how I would trim them to fish. So I do want these shorter, not short, but shorter. Remembering this is a nymph and we're trying to somewhat imitate legs, I'm gonna fish it in that size range. Okay? So that is the rubber leg Copper John. This doesn't catch fish though, so I wouldn't use it.
Absolutely terrible fly. Terrible.
Terrible fly.
When nothing else works, this doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. There you have it, folks. That is our 2
Turn
flies
it,
for the
turn
night.
it so we can see that bubble back. That's golden. Look at that. Gosh, is that good?
See a little bit of crystal flash coming through? Looks pretty darn good.
It's like a snow globe in there.
Yeah,
Gets me excited for fishing with Bruce again because that's all we're using this year. No matter if he wants to chuck streamers, it's gonna be just a Copper John, and that is absolutely it.
No point using anything else.
Why fish anything else when you've got a Copper John in your buddy's fly pack, the bubble butt? All right, so we've got a discount to give away, and I'm disappeared from the screen, so we're gonna head over here.
Bring it back. Breaking news.
Breaking freaking news is that you could put legs on last year, not floating or fighting with them, You could.
Then you would kind of have to wire. You'd be
you'd have to wrap them because
you'd be messing up your peacock.
You could. You definitely could. All right, Mike's driving back to Texas, and you'll probably camp in Broken Bow. Okay, tonight, watching as I drive when I get signal. New camper is his win.
Nice.
What's Mike doing? He's sharing a win, which we're going to all share here really quick. Once we give away the 40% discount code that
40%. Whew.
You got your cart full? You got your cart full?
Well, it's not, but I wish it was now.
Yeah. Also, if you check out RockyMountainFlyShop.net, on their website, their new website, it's all up there. And you get bulk discount if you order flies. 1 dozen's 5%, 2 dozen's 10%, and so on and so forth. But what you really need to know is they've got all of their new trips on their website for 2023, and they've got details about Rec Base, who is one of our fine sponsors here. And so you can find all the details if you want to go fish and stay at Rec Base with Rocky Mountain Fly Shop. That's on their website. But you probably aren't moving too far away from your cart because you're excited
for what comes next.
I meant to put that up earlier so you know where to use these.
Oh.
But yeah, now it's up now. So anyways, the 30% is gone, I believe. I don't know. Is there 25% left?
Find out what they have to say. This is huge though, guys. I don't know if you realize nobody else in the industry is doing this. Giving away this kind of percentage.
And nobody's giving free fly tying lessons, and it's all free. This whole show is free for you guys. If you want to buy a kit, it's super easy and convenient and handy for you guys to grab one of those and tie. That helps keep the show going, but it doesn't matter if you don't want to because you can still be here, tie with us, hang out with us, win free prizes. Flango's totally free. This year it's brought to you by Fly Fishing Bover Outfitters. And if you want, you can go down to Rocky Mountain Fly Shop any Thursday. You don't need to have a single thing. You just show up, they'll give you materials. It's all free. It's all free because the community is what matters, and getting people into fly tying and gathering a good group of people is what it's all about.
Yeah.
It's free.
It is free.
All right, so everybody ready?
Let's see it. 3, 2, 1.
40% discount is coming in hot. Tim's nipple is coming out.
My mom's watching. And my dad.
All right, well, I guess when Colin hands out a 90% discount,
I guess
Tim's nipple comes out.
Yeah, when I get the 90% discount.
Here it is.
Thursday rollback. All caps, 40% discount. There's only one of them. I would jump on it fast because it is going to be gone.
Hop it in there. Oop, just about broke my phone, but I'm just double checking that I got that code right.
Is that it?
Oh, we got a special guest.
Special guest? Who's that?
Well, we're just going to put them in the green room.
Who dat? What I do know is special guests from Costa Rica don't work.
No, this one's in Mexico, so we're going to see if it works. But yeah, anyways, Thursday rollback is kind of how it goes.
I like it. That's a big
the
discount.
guest is in the green room, but I don't see them. Let me know. Did you win? I'm waiting to see who won.
Yeah, I do want to know who used it and what you got with it. That's actually what I want to know more.
That's what I really get excited for. Is
Did you buy a new net? Did you get Norvice? What'd you do?
Code is gone. Cody's gone. Cody's gone.
Cody took
Where
it?
did Cody
That's
go?
cheating. That's cheating. Come on. What's it gonna be?
I just want to know who won it.
I know. Tell us more. And if you're in here, tell us what you bought. I want to know. Let's get something good. I hope so. 40% off. Better make it worthwhile.
All right, let's see if our guest pops up here.
Looks like somebody's there.
Okay, hang tight. We got a special guest coming in from Mexico. And we're going to get to our wins, but because it's been almost 2 weeks.
Crazy.
And
hey.
there she is. Let's see if she...
Come on.
The guest, you can't mute yourself. You're live. You're live. Hey, Mexico, come in. You're live.
No mutie.
Well, maybe it is anything south of USA.
Hold on, I can't hear anything.
Oh, we can hear you.
Hold on.
We can't see you. Where is your video? Did you go to bye?
Bye.
This sounds like you last week.
This looks familiar. Sucks being on that end too.
Yeah. Well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get her to share her win, and then we're gonna jump up into the.
There we go.
What's happening, girlfriend? Welcome to Thursday Night Live. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hey guys, Matea Sept, Dana Lattery's stepdaughter, currently in Puerto Morelos, Mexico.
Ooh.
A little bit far away.
Yeah. Sounds like.
And was just streaming Outer Banks that came out today.
You're streaming what?
The season 3 of Outer Banks.
Oh, I told you. It comes
Oh,
out
man.
Thursday. What are we doing here? We gotta go.
Yeah, I'm excited for that too. I can't lie.
So
Thank you for
anyways,
telling me.
why don't you share with the TNL fam what was your win of the last week? I think we're losing you.
No.
All right.
Not
So maybe just sit still.
What happened?
We're losing you.
In and out.
All right. You got 10 seconds to share your win.
Bookstore.
Bookstore. She found a bookstore.
Oh, that's a win.
So that's your win. Lots of books in Mexico.
The Atlas 6.
This is wonderful. Don't read these books. They're rated R for adults. And there we go. Super fantastic.
Pretty good win.
Well, thanks for jumping in on a call with us. Everybody here says hi. And yeah. That's a frozen Mexican call. It's similar to the Costa Rica.
Very similar, yeah. I see that.
You got to make sure you have a strong Wi-Fi connection when you call into the show. And that's how it works. So you guys, this part of the show is called What's Important Now. And basically what you do is you share what's important now. You share something fun, positive, something good that you walked through this week. And so we share, Tim shares, I share, and then you guys share. And then we just throw it in and we throw your comments and we read them all. And that's kind of how we end the night here on every single Thursday night. Just kind of like just holding space, really holding space for people to share. Like you could see through the broken Wi-Fi, Matea was excited that she found a bookstore in Mexico.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a beach in Mexico and there's not a beach here. But the bookstore was what was so awesome.
Well, that's awesome. It's good
So, so Tim, you jump in and share your win.
Sure
and then
thing.
I'll share my win.
Yeah, awesome. Well, mine's not a difficult one for the last couple of weeks. I was able to get away with the family, which was a much needed break, and got to, I think there's just something to be said for quality time with your family, and it sucks that sometimes it takes having to leave your own country to find that, but just got to enjoy some amazing time away, and just some big things going on in my life that I'm not quite ready to share yet, but I'm excited to share when I can, and I just have had a really good couple weeks of just time spent with those who really matter, and I feel like my cup is full, and I'm super excited to be here tonight. I was so thankful for Chaz being here last week. Shout out to you, buddy. You did an awesome job. But I tell you what, man, I missed being here, and it was super hard being a broken phone call away and not able to join the crew. But I'm super blessed, super thankful for many things this week. But
good.
How about yourself?
Well, since mine always revolve around some sort of mountain, and I have the ability to bring in my own photos.
Yeah, you do, you cheater.
Let's see if I can make this one show up. That's my win of the week. You might recognize some of these people.
Oh yeah.
That's me in the middle. That's me in the corner. That's me in the spotlight, losing my That's I got a catchy tune for our next release.
You good? Okay.
Yeah. So Mr. Aaron Novlan is on screen left. And then a new to the climbing fella for us, Mr. Mike Ritzko, who was here tonight. I don't know if he's still here, but love people climb mountains, and we got to we got 2 summits on that climb, and then we decided to take an alternative route down the backside, which none of us were really sure about. But we thought conditions for a little bit of risk were good, and absolute riot we had. It was so fun. The day was fun. It was just like, it just seemed to be a perfect climb.
Wonderful.
It had all the elements of different kinds of climbing, and then ended with a bit of a toboggan ride down the backside of the mountain. So that was fun. So that's my win. My win was the Sunday Summit Sundays.
Nice.
Do you want to share? You can jump in. He's gonna scream really loud in the microphone, and we know how he works.
I'm gonna go.
Sit on Papa's knee.
You let me know if it's too loud. So, to add on to that story, yeah, it was an epic climb and everything.
Put these on so you hear yourself.
There you go.
There we are.
Almost there you are.
Oh, there
That you
now.
plugged in.
Now I can hear it. So to add on to that, yeah, it was an amazing climb, and we didn't know which way we were going to come home off of that mountain, and we got up to the top, and we looked, and we said, do we want to go back the same way we just came, or do we want to see something new? And we all kind of said, let's see something new, but with seeing something new, that was bringing us to a mindset of we didn't know what we were coming up to, what we were gonna have to deal with. And when we started going down, we found out we had to deal with a lot of snow, waist deep, and we weren't maybe in the best foot attire for that, because we knew it was dry
in my bag.
dry going up the one side, but it was pretty snowy going down the other side. And my win for this week on that note was when we started going down, I kind of said out loud, thinking out loud, was, oh my God, what are we doing here? And Dana was like, hey man, what are you being all bummed out about? This is gonna be fun. And in my head, I was like, I know what's gonna happen to my feet right now. It's gonna be wool sock soup in my boots.
And it was.
At the end of this, but we only had about 4.5K to do that and deal with it. And it actually ended up being the best part of the whole day was that descent. The sliding and the laughs and navigating. And so I guess what the moral of the story is here is don't let your thoughts or the idea of something that's gonna maybe not be good or what do you think here?
Yeah,
like,
something that scares you, you're afraid to do.
yeah, I knew my feet were gonna get wet at the end of that and everything like that, but it wasn't like we were gonna be stuck on that mountain and they were gonna get frostbite and fall off. And I was surrounded with really good people that day, and it just that was the best part, and it was a lot of fun. So something might not be that much fun in your mind, but you could change around and be like, you know what? Because of the people that I'm with, it ends up being the most amazing thing the whole day. So that's kind of my win: is don't let the mind psych you out or trip you out.
Yeah,
go with it.
Mindset shift.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So win.
Epic. And that's exactly what it is when you're climbing, is like we decided as a group safely to go down the back, and Aaron's still wearing those shoes he needs to get out of. But yeah, it was fun, and that's I guess the moral of the story is just try something, shift your mindset, and remember it's the people that you have on the journey is more important than the journey, more important than the destination. And sometimes you just got to wing it and you got to go for it. So thanks for sharing that, Aaron.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here tonight. The band
Absolutely.
appreciates you. And we're going to scroll back up here and check out some wins. Mr. Troy Tracy, my win was a great vacation with family down south.
Awesome. Mike Dumont, my win for the week is that we did a family ski trip to Jasper last weekend, and both of my boys loved it and did an awesome job skiing down the mountain. Looks like another hobby is in our future. Just what
There
you need.
There you go. Chaz drank the place dry last week. That is a fact. There.
Yeah.
Ken received his TNL flight kit all the way to Australia.
Yeah.
And for the first time in history, and I feel so gross, he's missing episode 4.
Really?
All the way in the other. I think someone took it out and it's tying. But it's
Security.
interesting, Ken, because the graciousness in his email. Here's the thing, because this is super awesome, and I'm gonna. Ken, let me know what size sun shirt you are, because I'd like to add one of those in there. He reached out and he said, "Hey, I just noticed I was missing episode 4, and I'm sorry if whatever." He's like, "If I could buy an episode 4," and it's like, just like that's the graciousness of Ken, and yeah. So no, it's my fault, and I will send that on the way, and I would like to give you a sun shirt too, because just appreciate the grace that you extended. That's super awesome.
Amazing. Yeah, that's awesome.
Trout summited K2. It's his win.
All right. Andy, win. Didn't freeze to death at work. Had a pretty good week. Got some work done on the basement that I started 14 years ago. Ceilings, no need to keep bugging me. If I say I'll do it, I'll eventually get it done.
It's a guy thing.
It is. Also set up a flying tide table. OQP, LPCF. Have a great week, everybody.
Yeah. Jacob, my win was getting to make dinner for my family on Sunday, then getting to spend some quality time with them, and that is super awesome.
Yeah. Mr. Ritzko, my win was spending the week at home with family and a day on the mountain with Dana and Aaron.
That's who was on top with us. Win for the week for Ken is getting he had a quick getaway with his they quickly got away from his family, or he had a quick getaway. He's in Edmonton. He said he was going to miss this. Glad to have you here to share your wins. Great little getaway. We're also going to be in Edmonton this weekend for volleyball. Joe, I believe that's Joe Manchinton.
Yeah. My win is having next week off from work, a B-Day gift to myself, and having a quail hunt planned for Monday. And more. I don't know what but some more. Awesome.
And bone fishing on Thursday.
Yeah.
Down here. Yeah, Joel said missed the last few weeks because he's been on a vacation of a lifetime. I've been watching those stories unfold.
Crazy.
But my win is having the time of our lives in fishing in the Seychelles. Caught some awesome fish and some really cool people along the way. Again, the journey, and a super pumped for you guys, you and Alicia, and watching your ski trip and your fishing trip. That's awesome.
So cool. Cam, my win was waking up for another 7 days in a row. Love you guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
Chaz, the win is grateful for the goalie, grateful for my wife, grateful to be a man surrounded by amazing brothers. Win, I get a win every day. I think Kate said my win was
it was a great hike.
It was so fun. Yes, I think it's because we were back in the conversation.
Mr. Jones, got to spend a session today tying at convention. Get to curl with Cody this weekend in a bonspiel. But biggest of all, my incredible wife made it through 3 extremely challenging and difficult weeks at work. She never ceases to amaze me with her positivity and perseverance.
Awesome.
Wives have a way of being that way.
Mr. Cole, win of the week has been tying lots of flies, getting better at different techniques, and looking forward to trying them out.
That's the best part of it.
Him and Craig will be doing that together.
Yeah.
Mike said you stayed positive with sock soup. Yeah, my sock soup didn't happen, and it shouldn't have happened because I actually had gators in my bag. I just didn't put them on.
That doesn't help if you don't have them.
Adrian, is that you or me?
Yeah, you go ahead.
New Norvice and some extras. Amazing. Thanks a ton, Rocky Mountain Fly Shop. Tough week otherwise, but I'm pushing through. Win some bingo. In my head, I won. That's right.
Nice. Eric, my win going for pre-op with cataract doctor today. Surgery is April 11th for sure this time. Another win was catching a 3.79 pound smallmouth bass with my buddy. The temps were in the mid 70s today. So beautiful weather. Such beautiful weather today. Bless you all, my TNL family. I hope to see many of you when I come to guide school in May.
Yeah.
Can't wait to meet you, bud.
A little gathering on this final Sunday.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Sean, my win was being able to coach my daughter's soccer team to a gold medal last weekend. They only got one shot on the net the whole tournament in the spring, and the improvement was amazing to watch. Also got to watch my cousin play with Philly Flyers. Western Michigan Broncos alumni. Got the game winner against the Flames, which pretty much almost went off his foot and should have been called a kicked in.
But they're not going to make the playoffs anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, no, I don't want to ban Ken B. I went to add to the broadcast. Medium size, it was kit 3, so not 4. I would have done it again. Oops. It was a pleasure to be a part of the TNL fam, so another win.
Awesome.
Cam's more wins this week are your wins. Have a great week, everybody.
Yes.
Yeah, folks. Well, we only went 17 minutes past time, but that's fine because the band played on.
We did.
I don't know, like 2 thumbs up for our lyrical, artistical, country, and rap.
Yeah, I mean, I think.
And you guys, I sprung that rap on you.
You did.
You guys rocked it.
I was ready. I think I'm more comfortable with that.
We had a little free solo in there, and I'll be heading down to 8 Mile soon.
I live on it.
Why are you taking your socks off?
I don't know. This one came off. Oh, what a great week, guys. Thank you for being here. It is always a pleasure.
The impromptu costumes there, and I can't wait to get out of this plaid itch ball.
I can't wait to wear this around many more places.
Where's your panther?
I don't know. He took off on me.
Encore. Well, see, we could do an encore, but if you knew what we had to do to the studio to get the first core going,
it was a lot.
Eric wants to buy your feet pics off you.
You know what? Times are tough, Eric. They're for sale, but they're not cheap.
$4.
No, 4.5.
Yeah.
Per toe.
Well, unlike last week, we don't have to disappear into a whale's vagina.
Say what?
You didn't watch the end last week?
No, I did not watch that.
Well, the way we came into the show was we came out of the suits, and the way we left is zipped them up.
I saw how you came in them.
So, anyways,
green screen.
Yeah, we had a green screen up here. We had a party. Bearded Nipple performed tonight. Colin, Rocky Mountain Fly Shop, gave away some epic codes. We tried a couple really great flies. Adrian won but didn't win, and there's some controversy. We're going to have to go watch the replay because some people say he guessed door number 1 before door number 1 was open. And I don't know. I'm going to talk to the judges. We're going to call Toronto, and we're going to check out the replay, and we'll get back to you on that. But in the meantime, he probably just won some sneakers. Some sneakers. So that's all we got tonight for everybody who's still left here. We love you. We love you. Hey, the mayor's here.
Oh, of course he is. Where else would he be? It's the most dedicated.
Needed
viewer.
Mayor Fickow for bingo. Dickow.
Yeah. I mean, that D's right near that F. I get it.
Yeah, they're real close. He could have been Sickow.
Yeah.
Or E for Ickow, or C for Cacao, or Cacao. I'm just looking at the keyboard. R for Rickow.
That works.
Or V for Vickow, or X for
it's kind of silent, isn't it? X?
I don't know.
Anyways,
folks, Barry Dickow, that's the mayor of TNLville, and come to IF4. Get your friends to come to IF4, and everyone should be at IF4. And in the meantime, in between time, until next week when we tie up the Dave's Hopper, and
what is it?
Lefty's Deceiver,
Oh,
which is
good
classic
one. I
saltwater
love
pattern, but bringing it into the trout world, that thing catches
Yeah.
pike, trout, walleye, goldeye.
Anything.
And it's so good, it probably would catch the flu.
That's good. I was not expecting that. Okay.
OQP, LPCF, only quality people need apply. All right, we got to get out of here. We're literally ruining the show. Until next time, I'm Dana, and that's my friend
Timbo Jones.
And this guy over here is Aaron Nalvan. Can't see him, but he's there. So yeah, love each other. Be somebody's reason to smile this week. And we'll see you back here, same time, same place. I see Jerry or Gary is gone, so we might have scared him off. But if you're strong enough to make it through all the way to the end,
you deserve a little bit of this.
You deserve a little bit of freedom.
Because it's free. It's so
Oh my
free.
goodness, this is my favorite part of the night.
It's so freaking free.
So free. Everything's free. This whole show is free.
Yeah,
but
we should have rapped in these voices.
Oh yeah, next time we'll
Next
do a
time,
little
yeah.
ditty about P. Diddy. Me and my friend Giddy.
Likes to take a pity?
Pity on my friend's Ritty Diddy City.
Oh, man,
wow,
so much
when
to
I
do
go
with that
out on the
voice.
city, I want to say to my friends,
Stuff.
I can't say that.
I can feel my body cold against the concrete, but I can't seem to get enough. My mind is fixed on what it wants. I just let you beat me. Looks can be deceiving. Let you get the best of me in bed with my worst enemy. This is a no-go. I just can't take hold. This is a danger zone. Pack up and get me home. This is a no-go. I just
I'm
can't
gonna
take
do
hold.
some
This is a
stupid things and I'm better. Oh my goodness! Look at us! Hey Tim, you're back!
Hey, what's up, guys? Oh, it's
Be some stupid things.
Oh,
Never over.
never, ever over. Bam.
Oh, this is so good. Everybody went home and they all stayed here because, oh yeah, these two dudes in the teeny weeny beanies.
What?
I don't know.
Oh, you've been waiting for it all night, folks. Little slip here.
Eric Augustin says hi, y'all. Mike Dumont says have a great weekend,
Have
everyone.
a great week, everyone.
Adrian Tebow says great show. Love y'all. OQP LPCF.
LPCF. Because it's pretty
Oh
awesome.
yeah, Sean wants you to all have a great week, and Craig loves it. And Cole says what?
Have a great night.
Oh my goodness!
Everyone.
Hillbilly's taxidermy says sweaty laughy, sweaty laugh.
Laugh, laugh, laugh,
I think he
laugh.
has a fever.
I think he
I
also caught the flu.
I think he also caught the flu. We'll call him
Oh,
Lefty's Deceiver because that's a good point.
So
All right, so literally this time is for us to go, I think. Follow me. You should rap in this voice.
I don't know. I just
Well,
need some words
we
to throw
can't
it
just
down
always
so I can
rap.
run around town and talk about my
Does he
frown.
think he means like wrapping Christmas presents in this voice? Like, all right, so fold
here.
the paper over, take a piece of Scotch tape, stick it on top, and then cut this in a triangle and make
No.
sure you put a little note on top so that your kids know where it's from.
I don't think that's what we're talking about.
That's what he said. I want you to rap in this voice next week.
Oh, I think he means like dropping a beat, talking about shooting stuff, and like,
Well,
I don't know, maybe
that's
like,
what we can't do, Tim. We
Oh.
can't be on the show talking about dropping beets. Like, I like beets. They're my favorite vegetable. I'm not...